right, down here at the bottom left, our Zerg player on the team, MVP. He is spawning as a red Zerg, this particular map. His name is also a color, and he's a former Warcraft 3 player. He is...
MVP Violet.
There's a shot of him now. He's got 2 Gatorades in his booth. He wants to make sure he's double charged. His opponent on the other side of the map is a yellow Terran. A very strong Terran. In fact, he's been in the GSL forever. He is... Her hair is ensnared within those braids. What is that sponsor for OGS that's new? Is it Mom's Bank Touch?
Mom's Touch. I believe it's a chicken chain.
Okay. I thought I saw bank there, so I was like, Mom's Bank Touch, what does that mean? Okay, well that's interesting. I kind of want to try it now. Whenever I see a sponsor for a Korean Starcraft 2 team, I immediately want to just check them out. Like Gookum's Clothing Company, I check those people out. I checked out Sabasa Chicken. We order from there sometimes.
Yeah, that is actually really good chicken.
It's really good chicken. Just gotta say. Coca-Cola, you guys may have heard of them.
While we're talking about this.
Yeah, first. Command Center first at 15, going down for Ensnare. On a map like this that's so large and there's that free backdoor expansion, you do see this a lot.
Yep.
And it's one of those builds that kind of carried over into Brood War after these maps were introduced. You did see 15 CCs or 14 CCs were a little bit more common in Brood War. But in StarCraft 2, not so much. Minerals are different. Obviously, in Brood War, you get 8 minerals per trip. And it's different. But anyway, of course, fast expansion from Violet. He actually went hatchery gas pool, so got that very fast hatchery up. Now he's mining gas. Now I'm kind of curious to see what Violet's style is going to be here. Nice gas block. Remember, that is a rich Vespene geyser, so it's very important that he blocks that one. It's going to be a long time before a Marine can deny that either. So nice little move there by Violet.
Yeah, and he's going to need 2 Marines technically if he does do the cancel and keeps going over and over again. Definitely worth it on that geyser itself. And no, it looks like he's going to let it finish.
Yeah, he let it finish even though he had it hotkeyed, so I think he was planning on canceling it, just didn't do it. And now eventually this extractor will be taken out by Marines. About as soon as Heartless Swarm gets released. So right now Violet just droning up a little bit, made just 4 Zerglings, pretty common to see. I think he's going to move out, take the watchtowers, make sure that Ensnare isn't taking a fast third base or anything like that. He wants to see how many barracks are being made. It's pretty common. He's going to come up here and see that 2 barracks have been added to complete that wall up. Pretty normal. And, you know, unless you're Genro, you're not going to lose to a Baneling bust with barracks at the front of your ramp. Most likely. So I think what Violet's next move here is going to be is to go ahead and take his third base, spread his creep, and prepare for mid to the late game. Now, remember, hold that thought, the Koreans were, oh, there's the Baneling nest. I was going to say, when we're in here, we hear the Koreans go, oh, and we're like, I didn't see something they saw. Yeah, the Baneling nest did go down. So,
he's not really draining at all, getting a lot of lings here at the moment.
Yeah, he really wants to hit this nice Baneling timing. The factory is starting for Ensnare, and that gas actually is still alive, blocking the high yield gas for Ensnare.
Taking out those rocks so he has a quicker reinforcement path as well. I think we might actually see a Baneling bust.
This is a really interesting build to see. It's a very stressful map. He's at closer positions than usual. So he might be thinking, well, I don't really want to play a longer game here. If I take my third, it's closer to my opponent. I don't want to do that.
He does see those 3 barracks there. Getting a lot of gas, actually banking up 400 gas.
Remember, part of that wall is a supply depot, which you didn't realize was part of the wall. So if he busts down that one depot, that's the weak point, and he's going to go for it. Here he goes.
7 Banelings, 8 Banelings being morphed here. He needs to get some good ling follow-up, though.
10 Banelings coming. He's got a lot more lings in his base that he's not sending for some reason. That could prove to be quite detrimental here. And here he comes, moving forward with the lings. Lings first, now the Banelings come in. There's no bunker, there's no preparation whatsoever. The Banelings break through, even more Banelings coming in. SCV's being pulled, but there are Banelings.
Oh, the Banelings coming through. He needs to move those Marines back. Does get a couple of hits off there, but just doesn't have enough lings to reinforce. Like I was saying, he really needed to wait that extra 20 seconds for those ring reinforcements.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't do that. He didn't have all of his lings with him. And even then, he didn't attack the SCVs. He tried to attack the Marines, and the Marines just killed all the Banelings before they blew anything up. Ensnare held that extremely well. He's re-walled here, making more and more Marines. Even
and now he's
making
going to bunker as well. So it's
Violet's going to try again, but I don't think it's going to work unstable.
He didn't get anywhere near as many Marines as he'd wanted to. You really want to follow that up with a lot more Zerglings as well. He's got the SCV sitting on the bottom of the ramp to see if this is coming again. He does see it coming. He's got all his Marines positioned well. The supply depot's down. There we go, killing a lot of the Banglings. 4 Banglings being taken out before there. The Lings are in front. There we go. Goes through the supply depot. Gets a lot of Marines there, actually. But there are 2 Hellions as the follow-up now, and he's going to be forced back off.
Yeah,
that one tiny thing looks like it's going to kill Violet here.
Yeah, I don't think that he is actually going to be able to win from here. Unfortunately, he's just invested too much in it. He's now trying to drone and catch up. He's not just going to GG. He's not going to Baneling bust again. He's making 9 drones right now, trying to catch up on the worker count. He did kill a decent amount of Ensnare's workers, but 32 drones to 31, relatively close. But the thing is, Ensnare is able to tech behind all of this. He's got a great amount of production. He's got an awesome army, whereas Violet is just desperately trying to drone. But if he gets attacked, he's not going to have the units he needs to defend.
Exactly. We do have Combat Shield coming out here for Ensnare as well. He's also got a Viking, and there just is no army here for Violet at the moment. He's falling behind in supply by about 15 now. He's trying to make as many Lings as he can, but these Hellions are going to be able to get away. There's 4 Hellions there now. Yeah, the Lings do have speed, but there's no creep spread whatsoever.
And if the Banelings get in a funky spot, you can just lift them up if he needs to, and he's just going to just continue to attack here. The Baneling's going to go down. Not using that dropship just yet, just doesn't have to. Just cleaning up a lot of the units of Violet, and Violet can't afford to lose any units right now. Going into the main here, might get surrounded, but like I said, he has the dropship, and as he gets surrounded, he'll just pick them up.
Or he might. There we go. Does lose one, but manages to get away. He does have another 2 dropships in production. He's got 3 Hellions left. He's also got quite a few Marines. Getting +1 and a lair here for Violet, but he's just extremely behind at the moment.
And here comes some more Zerglings trying to take out these Hellions. Ensnare does lose one, not reacting quickly, but a lot of Zerglings went down in the process. Not really worth it to attack there. And the supply deficit kind of narrowing here a little bit as Ensnare loses some of those Hellions, and actually with that drone count for Violet, he's starting to catch up. But the problem is, like we were saying earlier, he just has so much tech. He's got 2 dropships full of Marines. Baneling speed isn't done yet. These Zerglings actually might sneak in. Nope. And a lot of that came down when he went to the Baneling bus, by the way.
Yeah.
The depot was down for a second. He tried to use it. Hold that thought. He's going to have to cancel his hatchery unless Ensnare doesn't notice what's going on. Okay. He's going to actually drop on top of Banelings. I thought that's what he was going to do for a second. All right, now the Banelings don't have speed. They're taking a long time to get over here. He may actually kill the hatchery and then leave.
Does force to cancel. Kills a couple of the Banelings. Lifts up all but 1 Marine. Now he's going to go down into the main, and he's just going to do the same thing back and forth. Going to get a lot of kills here. 14 Lings in production. Baneling speed as well. But he's still on the back foot. He's about 30 supply down. Oh, those Banelings do get picked up. Picked off.
Ensnare is freaking me out with how he's just barely lifting up in time. Every time my mouth just goes wide open. I'm like, is he going to mess this up? Right now, Ensnare taking about a 30 supply lead. He's got so many Marines, like you were saying. Baneling speed finishing up here. +1 missile attacks, or melee attacks rather, finishing up as well. I always say those backwards. And Ensnare actually going to go for a drop in the backdoor expansion as he gets aggressive at the front.
He's also got that command center building back in his base as well. He does lose quite a few units here. He is getting surrounded. Hasn't lifted it up just yet. There is a Viking there to kill a lot of the units. There's siege tanks as well. Banelings are being wasted on those siege tanks. A lot of Marines left. This looks like it's going to be it. 67 supply to 96. He's moving up.
Yeah, he has siege mode. He's sieging up here in a really good spot, so he can actually start. He wants to start hitting the hatchery. He can't quite reach it just yet, but he's just moving closer and closer with these Marines. He's going to fall back to the siege tanks when he needs to. He does have stim.
Violet's also supply cap, 67 over 68. He's lost so many overlords to that Viking. It looks like, here we go. He's going to try and go for it once again. There are a lot of Marines on each different level of that platform, all 3 of them.
Violet is looking like he is in a lot of trouble. That Spire is relatively vulnerable. He does lose all of those Marines, unfortunately, for Ensnare, but he still has a lot of units here. He actually could reinforce. He's sending a reinforcing group down now. And basically, Violet doesn't know when those are going to get there, so even though he could rush down and kill those tanks right now, he just doesn't feel comfortable doing so.
Yeah, he has double the supply of Violet right now.
He's taking a 3rd base as well, and Violet, he has that Spire, but he just doesn't have the economy to make mutas right now, and he realizes if I make mutas right now, they're just not going to do well enough, and I'm going to die. So he's making banelings instead.
Especially with this many medivacs as well. He's got 10 banelings, or did have 10 banelings in production, but there's those tanks just covering him.
Right now, Ensnare does have +1 weapons. Doesn't have any upgrades for his tanks just yet. They're about to finish, and +1 armor going to finish for these Marines as well. Ensnare looking really good from here. He's actually going to just try to bait some of these banelings forward, targeting them down and falling back to the siege tanks. I can't imagine Violet coming back from this.
No, he does lose all those banelings yet again. He's got 2 mutas in production, not really going to do anything here. The tanks are now in position to hit this natural expansion as well. There is just no units at all here for Violet. He's trying to get as many back as he can, but the tanks are in too good of a position. They're too staggered out. He also has that Vikings continuing to kill more and more overlords here. He's about to be supply capped yet again. He's bringing drones now for the final effort. Not going to be enough. He's absolutely cleared through with these Marines.
It's just not enough. He's lost the hatchery. The drones are dying. 141 supply to 22 supply.
GG!
Ensnare advances to the round of 16. Violet will stay in Code S, but will not advance.
We will see him next month at least.
Yeah, at the very least. You'll see him in the team league as well.
Yep.
Ensnare puts on his baseball cap. I like that.
Yeah. Not a happy Violet, but you're still in Code S. You have to think of the positives.
You know, here's the thing about that decision. You go for a Baneling bust in the last game. It doesn't work. You find out your opponent's not Jinro when you get there, and it's rough. It is, and Ensnare even going to come on here and be good-mannered to his opponent. Very difficult to do when you lose to someone to be able to deal with that kind of mannerism. And that's why a lot of people consider it very rude to go and approach an opponent who you have beaten, but Ensnare wanted to be nice, did come over there. So as you guys can see, Ensnare and Clyde advance to the round of 16. Any Pro drops to the up and downs, and obviously Violet stays in Code S.
An interesting result overall.
Yeah, I expected actually Any Pro and Violet to advance, not the other two who actually did advance. So my liquid bet is hurting a little bit. But even so, very interesting matches. Well played by all those guys. And Any Pro, I think, and Violet, we'll see them again. Any Pro, I don't think will fall down. It's possible, but I think he will most likely stay in Code S.
It all depends on which group he gets in the up-down matches, really.
Yeah.
There are a lot of strong players in Code A at the moment. We'll see how his chances go. It is. And here we go, looking at the brackets now.
That's just showing a little bit different way of looking at it. Obviously, same results we just looked at. Obviously, Nesty and Trickster won Group A, and then in Group B, Ensnare and Clyde. So those guys are going to run into each other first when you go into the round of 16 brackets. And here we go, June 29th. That's tomorrow. TSL Killer, Bolt Prime, Liquid Huck, and TSL Alive for Group C. And Group D, we have OGS Inca, Kyrix, MC, and Bomber all in Group D. Those are some pretty intense groups right there. So that'll be tomorrow after Code A.
And I believe we're both here yet again.
Yep.
For Code S tomorrow.
I will be here. That is for sure. Casting Code S.
Of course. Interesting groups tomorrow as well, actually.
Yeah. Huck playing, so that a lot of foreigners really love to watch him play. He's playing against Holt, who took out Huck in the Super Tournament. Also, I believe, took him out in Code S last season. So Huck and Polt have kind of a little rivalry. They play each other on the ladder a lot, and Polt usually beats Huck, so there's this kind of understood rivalry between the two of them.
Yep.
Polt, the Super Tournament champion, so that's pretty awesome. Alive and Killer, some scary players as well.
Huck also coming off 2 championship wins in the last 2 weeks.
That's true.
Well, though,
has won some foreign tournaments. Has been doing quite well. All right, so this is Code A. For those of you guys who didn't tune in earlier, today Tails, Bonbons, Sheth, and Puzzle advanced. And, of course, tomorrow
we have Hyperdub, Happy, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Curious, Jinro, Shiny Star, Boxer, and ASD Foyu.
So should be some great matches tomorrow afternoon. Remember, it's at 1:10 if you want to catch Code A. If you want to be an awesome nerd baller and watch both, you tune in at 1:10 p.m. and then you turn in at 6:10 p.m. 5 hours later to watch Code S. There's so much Starcraft going on here at the GSL. Definitely tune into all of it.
For some reason you can't actually catch us live, you can always check out the VODs.
Yeah, you can always watch the VODs. And not only that, but I forgot to mention Team League on Thursday and Friday. So much stuff going on here at the GSL. Tastosis will be back casting those matches, so don't worry. They'll be here soon. I know you guys have missed them. They've been enjoying their vacation. They will be back soon. Now, just wanted to let you guys know that Unstable and I, you can follow us on Twitter at FXO Wolf, FXO Unstable. I made him get a Twitter here recently. He's actually finding out it's not as bad as he thought. You can check out m.gomtv.net. I see it down there. You can also follow GOMTV at just GOMTV on Twitter. Check those things out. Go post on the GOMTV forums. Give feedback. Also, special thanks to Pepsi. I actually really love Pepsi. Pepsi tastes different in Korea, I think, than it tastes in the U.S. Or maybe it's just me, but I love drinking it. Also, special thanks to G-Skill. Just like looking down from pointing at all the sponsors. I want to be like Vanna White. It's weird because I look on the screen, it's over here. Yeah. Also, special thanks to Razer down there. And also special thanks to Starcraft 2. And Pepsi, there's Gatorade here. Gatorade's awesome. Special thanks to pens. Pens are great. Without them, we wouldn't be able to write anything. Special thanks to Unstable for casting with me. All right, I'll see you guys next time at the GSL.
Those crazy